Auditorium Gallery of West Torrens. I would just like to welcome you all to West Torrens, our beautiful city, and I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge the Kaurna people, the traditional owners of this land. I would like to acknowledge their elders, past, present and emerging, and pay respects to their continuing relationship with the land, and acknowledge their ongoing custodianship and the importance of their custodianship for the sustainability of our beautiful country. And also acknowledge all of our roles in building a sustainable future for our country. I would then like to welcome the Mayor, Mr. Michael Coxon, to say a few words and introduce all of the wonderful people that have contributed to this show and all of our important people that have come to witness this amazing collection. So, Michael Coxon, Mayor of the City of West Torrens, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Catherine. And firstly, may I also acknowledge that the land that we meet on today is the traditional country of the Kaurna people, and that we pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and that we also acknowledge their spiritual relationship with the country. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge the following in attendance this evening. Now, I'm so pleased if I haven't mentioned you, please accept my apologies. However, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is my honour as Mayor to welcome you to my favourite city, the City of West Torrens, for the opening of the exhibition featuring the history of spinning and textiles, life and art in Greek culture. So may I share with you a quick story. As many of you know, my wife and I, Fiona, just recently returned from a holiday in Greece, and it was our very first trip to Greece. And of course, when in Athens, we do as the people in Athens do. So what do? Every day we recognise the Greek culture. Don't get stressed out. Sit down, have a coffee. If you want to have a puff, that's okay. You can have a cigarette. And just relax, because everything's going to work out. Now, one night we went out quite late, probably had a few too many ouzos, okay? And in the morning, probably after about 11, it got a bit sketchy for me, but in the morning we woke up, and I started doing this as I woke up and had a bit of a thumping headache. Anyway, that was a good night. But I looked at Fiona, and she was up and she'd had a shower, and it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and I said, "Where are you off to, love?" And she said, "I'm going to get my hair done." I said, "Good luck." She came back at 11 o'clock, she said, "The hairdresser, there was no one there." I said, "Try it about 4 in the afternoon and maybe you'll be lucky." Now,
She was still sleeping.
and of course, so, while we were in Athens, we took the opportunity of visiting the Acropolis, as everybody does. And we looked at many things, Hadrian's library and all of the ruins, as you know. But while exploring the history, we discovered that Herodotus, the ancient Greek historian, noted that among the gods, only goddesses are weavers. Okay? Now, and Athena, being the goddess of women's handicrafts, is often depicted weaving and spinning, and these as being the most important to her and her following. Now, as most of you know, Athena was the patron deity of Athens. So this meant that weaving often held a very special place in the religious lives of Athenian women, and in fact part of their rituals, including the weaving of a new elaborate, now please someone correct me if I get this pronunciation incorrect, peplos? This is a long woman's garment, and this was made for the statue of Athena that stood in the temple complex on the Acropolis. This task of weaving the peplos and dressing the statue was seen as a very important and honourable task for the best of Athens weavers, as well as the young women that helped carry the garment and then dress the statue. So in the ancient world, not only were textiles extremely significant in rituals, they were also very valuable. And the spinning and the weaving of wool and flax were not only necessary skills for a woman to possess, but were also highly respected. However, for Fiona and myself, we feel that this speaks to the significance that women have in the Greek history and the high level of respect that they command. And this is something that should and must be celebrated. So now, back to the exhibition. You may wonder why it is appropriate for this exhibition to be taking place in West Torrens. I would argue that as we are home to the greatest Greek population in South Australia, we should have the honour. Further, not only are we home to in excess of 1 in 5 of South Australia's Greek population, we also have 3 councillors of Greek heritage on our council. And yes, one of them is a woman. I would like to publicly acknowledge them. So first of all, we have Councillor George Vlahos. We also have Councillor Simon Tsiaparis, who was the youngest elected councillor in the 166 years history of the city of West Torrens. And he is also the youngest ever appointed chairman of a permanent standing committee on the council. So well done to him. But to take the honours tonight is Councillor Elizabeth Papanikolaou. Now, in closing, I'm not opening the exhibition just yet, I'm just closing this part off. In closing, the City of West Torrens is extremely proud of our Greek heritage because we all share in that, and we are honoured to host the exhibition. Thank you.
I would like to now invite George Tsiakis, Consul of Greece, to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Well, I would also like to acknowledge that we meet in the land of Karna people, and we have the full respect for the elderly, and we recognize their corners of the country. I would like to first of all thank Mayor Coxon for his support in housing this this exhibition today here in West Torrens, and for his kind words earlier. And to say that I've been amazed by the very diligent effort put in preparing this exhibition by Ms. Millicent Naik and her husband, Mr. Maraidis, whom I know for quite a long time now. And they have our full support. Actually, just today I spoke to our embassy in Canberra, and our ambassador herself, Ms. Xagorari, who is leaving in 2 days, is going to assume her new duties as ambassador of Greece to Cyprus. But she told me to, in particular, make note of her support too for your effort here. And I would like to wish that you very soon get over the teething problems you have. It's no little thing that you've managed to reach this stage. But I understand that there's a lot more to be done, especially with a view to establishing a more permanent exhibition and a place where the houses and all that. But I can assure you, and I say this publicly, that you will have the consulate's support, and we'll do everything in our hand too to help you through and make sure that this exhibition is not a firework, but something that stays in the long term. I have also contributed some few things, and I will probably continue to as soon as I start scratching in my warehouse to the museum. It's very promising, and it's very touching to see that people of older generations who came here with some personal artifacts and crafts are now handing them over here so that they don't get lost in time. You know, it's a pity when you have these utensils or crafts or whatever it is, and because they've been surpassed by technology or maybe the style or fashion or whatever, they're put aside, they start being dusty or humid, and then they're thrown away eventually. Just a few weeks ago, I took to a specialist my father's old typewriter, and I remember to this day the noise of the keys pressed. and he just cleaned it up for me. He oiled it a bit, and so I have it. I can just throw it away, you know. And so all these things that you see here means something to each individual that brought them here. They might not be of any use anymore, but a lot of them have a history, a lot of them have a purpose, and it's nice sometimes comparing. For example, I see that coffee mill there, right? I mean, imagine, in the good old times, you could actually mill your own coffee, and you could get the smell of freshly ground coffee, as opposed to today where it's all, you know, meticulously and surgically closed in vacuum-packed paper and stuff. Anyway, so not to keep you too long, I just want to say that once more we fully support your initiative. Congratulations, it's a great job you've done. I'm very thankful for you, and to have you on with you.
Your words. I'd like to introduce Irene Nefmatikos, who will give us some words. Irene is here. Irene is at MLC, a very powerful female MLC, here representing Peter Malinauskas, but can equally represent herself. Thank you very much for being here, and we'd love to hear some words from you. Thank you.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me to speak on behalf of Peter Malinauskas, leader of the South Australian Labor Party. I'm excited to be here tonight to celebrate the opening of the first of what I hope is many exhibitions to be hosted by the Greek Museum of Adelaide. In South Australia, we are lucky to have such a diverse multicultural population, with an estimated 45,000 people in South Australia of Greek descent. It is essential that there are cultural platforms to bring people together. Institutions like the Greek Museum enable the Greek community to connect with history and culture. Hopefully, this exhibition and others to follow will become a permanent fixture in our state with the securing of permanent exhibition space. Cultural institutions like the Greek Museum can play a pivotal role in the conservation, revitalisation and engagement of Greek heritage. Exhibitions such as this not only give us the opportunity to engage with our Hellenic culture, but it also gives the wider South Australian community a chance to engage with our culture. The exhibition space adds to the diverse population of South Australia and strengthens intercultural dialogue and cultural understanding. As you've heard, the theme of the exhibition is the history of spinning and textiles, life and art in Greek culture. The theme highlights the importance of Greek arts in Hellenic culture and how this is reflected in our lives. By highlighting life and art in Greek culture, the exhibition gives us a holistic experience of Greece, Greek culture, and the contribution it has made to contemporary society. It is incredible that tonight's exhibition is comprised almost totally of exhibits owned by various individuals and families within our community. In many respects, each household is a small museum. Some of these treasures deserve and should be seen by members of the public. I wish to extend my congratulations to the Greek Museum for putting on this exhibition tonight and creating a space in the South Australian community for Greek art, tradition and history. I would also like to recognise all members of the organising committee, volunteers and supporters who have made the event possible, in particular to Chrysoula Melisinaki for her tireless efforts in promoting the Greek Museum. Events such as this allow for continued dialogue and discussion to grow and develop the Greek diaspora community. I am very thankful to be a part of this event by speaking tonight, and also along with Michael referred to Greek councillors, Greek descent councillors in council. there are a number of Greek descent parliamentarians as well. And I want to particularly acknowledge Connie Benares, Andrea Michaels and Tom Koutsandonis, who along with me are of Greek descent and sit in our parliament in South Australia. And certainly, along with Connie Benares, we have attempted to play a supportive and contributing role in the promotion and development of the Greek Museum. I'm very thankful to be a part of it, and I wish the Greek Museum great success with this exhibition and their future. Thank you.
It has been a very great pleasure to work with Chrysoula and Paniotis and Victor. Chrysoula is a machine. She is incredibly well organised, diligent and energetic, and what you see here today is the culmination of many, many months' work, many, many emails to me. All of Chrysoula's emails are marked urgent, just so I don't miss them. Occasionally, I think I've been a bit tardy and I'll get another urgent email. But this is good because today, this was all put up today. She came incredibly well organised. She is incredibly passionate about the items you see here and the many hundreds of other items she has in her home. And she's incredibly passionate about finding a home for those items, a permanent home. So now that you see it, put your thinking caps on about a permanent home. I would now like to welcome Chrysoula to say some words about this wonderful show.
Thank you so much. Without your support,
It wouldn't
I
happen.
couldn't do that. And I would like to thank everyone that is here today. I'm very happy. We are very happy, and we appreciate that you are here with us to share our vision. Είμαστε ευτυχείς και σας ευχαριστούμε και σας εκτιμούμε που βρισκόσαστε σήμερα εδώ για να μοιραστούμε αυτό μας το όραμα. I would like to say a few words. Please excuse my nervous. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first exhibition of Greek Museum of Adelaide. We would like to extend a special welcome to the Honourable Mayor of West Torrens, Michael Coxon, Mayor of the City of Campbelltown, Jill Wedker, the General Consul of Greece, George Tsiachas, the Honourable Irene Pneumatikos, Connie Bonaros, Andrea Michaels, Frank Pangallo, and the Reverend Father Diogenes Panchouris, and most people that are here. Our vision as a Greek museum is to stimulate the thoughts and emotion of every single person and visitor in our state about the art, the culture, the history and knowledge of Greek people. Our purpose is to value and respect the art crafts, tools, everyday life objects and books of a bygone era, that they were alive and had been used for ages in first-generation Greek homes. All these exhibits were gifted with their memories, cultural history and knowledge. Regrettably, in the later years, they were forgotten and isolated, and most of them abandoned as the first generation passed on. It is time now to give them a second life, to get them out of obscurity and honor them with the respect that they deserve, showing the same respect and acknowledgement to the people who created and used them. Our vision is to collect, curate and display cultural elements specific to the Greek community of Australia, yet of broader interest in our multicultural society, most particularly among people who love the arts, education and culture. This exhibition is our first attempt and initiative to put in practice what we have in our minds and souls. We are endeavoring to create a holistic museum with a variety of artistic and historical perspectives, with references to Greek roots and heritage, yet with broader multicultural interest. Distinguished guests, your support to the Greek Museum of Adelaide is once again a tribute and acknowledgement to Hellenism in Australia. Tonight, we appeal to you as prominent and distinguished members of our society to be side by side with us as our supporters in this vision. Thank you. And because I'm the president of the Greek Museum, you will permit me to say these words in Greek as well. I think that we deserve this. Θα μου επιτρέψετε να τα πω και στα ελληνικά. Κυρίες και κύριοι, σας καλωσορίζουμε στην πρώτη έκθεση του Ελληνικού Μουσείου της Αδελαΐδας. Το όραμά μας ως Ελληνικό Μουσείο της Αδελαΐδας είναι να αποτελέσουμε ερέθεις μας τη σκέψη και τα συναισθήματα κάθε ξεχωριστού ατόμου και επισκέπτη της πολιτείας μας σχετικά με τη τέχνη, τον πολιτισμό, την ιστορία και τη γνώση που διέπει τον ελληνικό λαό. Σκοπός μας είναι να απονείμουμε τιμή και σεβασμό σε όλα τα παλαιά αντικείμενα τέχνης, αντικείμενα καθημερινής ζωής και βιβλία, τα οποία ήταν ζωντανά και χρησιμοποιούνταν για χρόνια στα σπίτια των Ελλήνων της πρώτης γενεάς. Όλα αυτά τα εκθέματα ήταν πρικισμένα, με αναμνήσεις, πολιτιστική ιστορία και γνώση. Δυστυχώς, τις τελευταίες δεκαετίες είχαν ξεχαστεί και παραμεληθεί και τα περισσότερα από αυτά είχαν παραμεριστεί καθώς οι πρώτες γενναίες φεύγουν. Τώρα είναι καιρός να τους προσφέρουμε μια δεύτερη ζωή. Να τα βγάλουμε από την αφάνεια και να τα τιμήσουμε με το σεβασμό που τους αξίζει, δείχνοντας την ίδια στιγμή σεβασμό και αναγνώριση σε αυτούς τους ανθρώπους που τα δημιούργησαν και τα χρησιμοποιούσαν. Όραμά μας είναι να περισυλλέξουμε, να περισσώσουμε και να προβάλλουμε στοιχεία του πολιτισμού της ελληνικής κοινότητας της Αυστραλίας, αλλά συνάμα και ευρύτερου ενδιαφέροντος για την πολυπολιτιστική μας κοινωνία, ιδιαίτερα μεταξύ των ανθρώπων που αγαπούν τη τέχνη, την εκπαίδευση και τον πολιτισμό. Αυτή η έκθεση αποτελεί μια πρώτη απόπειρα και πρωτοβουλία να παρουσιάσουμε εμπράκτος τι έχουμε στο μυαλό και κυριότερα στην ψυχή μας. Προσπαθούμε να δημιουργήσουμε ένα ολιστικό μουσείο, με ποικίλες καλλιτεχνικές και ιστορικές προοπτικές, με αναφορές στις ελληνικές ρίζες και κληρονομιά, εντούτοις με ευρύτερο πολιτισμικό ενδιαφέρον. Αξιότιμοι καλεσμένοι και καλλιτέχνες, βοηθώντας να εγκαθιδρυθεί το Ελληνικό Μουσείο, η Αυστραλιανή Πολιτεία αποδεικνύει ότι για μία άλλη φορά απονείμει φόρο τιμής και αναγνώρισης στον ελληνισμό της Αυστραλίας. Απόψε κάνουμε έκκληση σε εσάς που αποτελείτε εξέχοντα και διακεκριμένα μέλη και παράγοντες της πολιτείας και της κοινωνίας μας, να ταχθείτε στο πλευρό μας ως υποστηριχτές μας σε αυτό μας το όραμα. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to welcome back our Mayor, Mr. Michael Coxon, to officially open the exhibition. Thank you.
Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, firstly, before I officially open the exhibition, can I just acknowledge the incredible effort that Catherine and her team have made in working together with Chrysula to present this exhibition. In closing, as Mayor, I would like to take the opportunity to again congratulate all involved for having the dedication and the drive to create this outstanding exhibition. The council that I lead will be dedicated to supporting you in finding a permanent home for this exhibition. I make that declaration publicly, and there are those in this room that understand that when I give my word, I will follow through. May I also take a very quick moment to acknowledge Mr. Bill Gonis, who's the President of the Greek Orthodox Community of South Australia here tonight. And the reason why I do that is because the Greek community have been incredibly generous in being able to step in and save and purchase the Camden Community Centre to provide very important community services, not just to the Greek community, but to our whole community. Thank you very much. So may the Hellenic community, and in particular the Hellenic women, continue to be respected and revered. To me, you are all goddesses. Just want to say that. Fiona, I'm sorry, I have to say they're all goddesses, okay? You know, but you and I, we've got a thing going, all right? So, and you're a lot younger than me, so you know how it goes. But having said that, it is my incredible privilege and honour to declare this exhibition open. Thank you.
Please continue to enjoy our hospitality.